Right, here we go. Welcome to the stream. Nobody's there, but welcome anyway. Yep, third scenario of our random mini chaos league. Today we will be doing the unspeakable oath from the Path to Carcosa. Last time I played this I died horribly, so let's go for a repeat performance. If you happen to have stumbled across this stream, this is a mini league where we've taken three completely random scenarios. The first two turned out to be a couple of return scenarios from Dunwich. This one is a standard scenario from Carcosa. We're playing it as a mini campaign in which we carry over our experience, etc. But we don't, with them being randomized scenarios, we set each one up with standalone rules. And most importantly of all, our initial deck was a chaos deck, so completely randomized, and we then spent, I think it was 9 XP, might have been less, to try and tweak it to make it maybe a little more playable. And there we go. I've successfully got through the first scenarios, and I think this is one where I'm going to run repeatedly into a brick wall. So let's complete the setup. I have my lunatic and monster decks up there. We have to base it on the standalone rules. I've got my chaos bag tokens laid out. I just need to randomize the third set of 2 tokens that we are going to add to the chaos bag, and we get tablet. Okay, so that's 2 tablets to be added, which is the one that's based on the shroud value of your location. So that's not much fun. Okay, let's bag everything up. Let's forget the Elder Zone. So I've tweaked the layout of my screen to fit the Twitch chat along the bottom, which is unfortunately adjusted what screen real estate I've got. Let me see if I can fix that slightly. About there, I think that's a little bit better. I can squeeze my player board onto the bottom of the screen a bit better there. I should have done that beforehand. Never mind. It means me LMEM in the wrong place now, so much for prep. There you go, L. And layer live stream editing, that's about that. Okay, just got to randomise the Western Patient Wing. I've got no idea which is which here. And the Eastern Patient Wing. We'll roll an odd number for the left and an even number for the right. So for the Western Wing, that is a 3. So we take the odd one, the left one, and for the Eastern Patient Wing, again a 3, so we take the left one. To come out of the game. So there we have our layout. In terms of deck, I have removed Belly of the Beast because I don't think poor Yori, even though he's got an evade of 3, the monsters have got quite high evade, so he's not going to be successfully evading anyone by 2 or more to gain a clue. Painkillers I never seem to find much use for. Ventura was a waste, it was a chaos card, but I don't have any assets with ammo. Well, I have one actually. And Dark Horse, I can't get on with Dark Horse. They were all randomly selected. And I have replaced them with Yotl to give me some extra skill card help. A couple of Pluckies to boost my head and book, providing I have some money. And a Miss Doyle to throw in some extra cats that will help with some skill checks. I'm gonna spread those through the deck before I shuffle to try and hopefully make sure they don't end up clumped together, and as I always say, they're going to end up shuffled back together again. I'm shaking the camera, sorry about that. I haven't got my player token out. Okay, I'll do donkey, right. Right, let's just double check the blurb. So set the rooms out. Yeah, standalone mode was as I laid out there. Add to a random token. Constance is classed as not having been killed or interviewed. We didn't take the Onyx clasp, and we don't read the interlude. The interlude 2 comes afterwards anyway, so double check then. We've gathered all the encounter cards, we've made the monster and the lunatic piles, we've randomly selected our asylum halls. We each begin at the asylum halls of your choice. I'm not sure yet, just one second. Set aside Daniel Chesterfield and the 3 patient confinements, which we've done that. Put the other locations into play. We've sorted the chaos bag. I've sorted the act deck. Shuffle the remainder cards to build the encounter deck, which is the one thing I haven't done. So my plan is the final, I think it's the final act where we can escape. We have to do 4 out of 6 of the tasks that are scattered around the asylum. Whoops. I made some notes beforehand, so I'm not peeking at hidden information. Look at which ones Yorick is probably best suited for. I think, where are we? So the kitchen is head of 2 to set a fire, my head is 3. The yard is take a damage to start a fight, I think Yorick can shrug that off quite easily. The garden is evade 2 to distract the guards, my evade is 3. One of the patient cells is fight of 2 to free a dangerous patient, so I can do that because my fight is 4. Then the other 2, there's one of the patient confinement is a book of 2. My book is only 2, so I found that one the most difficult. And the last one is the head, a head test of whatever horror is on you. Obviously that's going to change as the game progresses, so if we come to that one early, I might be alright. Late, not a chance. Okay, so given that, we're going to have to go through the yards to get to the garden on the way out, so there's no benefit being close to the yard. We need to go there at some point, so I think I'm going to start in the western wing so that I'm closer to the kitchen. Although if I remember right, last time I played I went into the kitchen by mistake. I'm going to stick that on there to remind me that I can't go in there yet. Anywhere else I can't go in? Yeah, can't go in the basement hall. And we can't go into the guard. There you go. Hopefully, tell you what, let's be thematic and make it a nice big X. You shall not enter here. Because in the In the spur of the moment, I will forget all of these things. I go waltzing in. Don't need the dice anymore. Okay, so am I sticking with the western wing? Seems I can't go into the kitchen until I've got the key, and I can't remember how I got the key. I think it's when the agenda advances. We mug a nurse or something. Right. I'll stick with the west. Shroud of 3. 1 clue. Each lunatic enemy at this location gets +1 horror. Okay, so let's draw my deck. So this layout is a little bit tight, and I'm conscious you can't see my player board very well. Not that you really need to, but right, let's see what we get. We get a guard dog, a meat cleaver, Plucky, Pete, and Moonstone. Okay. Moonstone I can only play. Oh, that's interesting. I can play it after I discard it. I guess Mulligan doesn't count, does it? That'd be interesting. I wonder if that would trigger. If you discard it as part of a mulligan, can you then play it? Okay. I'm assuming not. So I'm going to discard it anyway. I'm going to keep Pete. Keep Plucky. See, the thing is, this is a bunch of good cards here that I can't afford to play them all. I might just take the first round to tool up. Am I better off getting Pete in play, or am I better off getting Plucky? Plucky will help my investigations, but it will eat my money up. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep Peter, and I'm going to keep Plucky, and I'm going to keep the meat cleaver, but I'm going to lose the guard dog. So I'll get 2 more. Emergency quiche. And enchanted blade, so I'm fine for weaponry. So I think I might go with the I don't know. Meat cleaver or enchanted blade. Meat cleaver will come into its own when my sanity starts dropping, whereas enchanted blade I have to use the charges to deal the extra damage. Meat cleaver I have to take horror to do an extra damage. So I think in the early stage of the game, oh I don't know. I'm going to stick with that. I think I'll go with enchanted blade. Right, let's go. Action 1. Why am I on action 2? Reset. Action 1. Play 3, 4.
Hello?
No one's talking to you.
I'm not sure I understand.
Good. Right, so that's enchanted blade. Pay 3 for that. I shall then play emergency quiche to get 3 back for action 2. And then for action 3 I shall pay 3 for Pete. So my deck, can you see my deck there? Right. Okay, so that's my 3 actions. No enemies in play. Nothing to ready. Card. Bury them deep. And a resource. Gem on the agenda. I've not read any of this actually. Heck. Agenda 1A. Locked inside. The patient wing of the asylum is far quieter and lonelier than you would expected. The hall reeks of chemicals and body odour. As soon as you are escorted inside, the doors behind you are closed and locked tight. We need 2 Doom to advance. And Act 1A, Arkham Asylum. Aside from a few patients giving you a wide berth, there aren't any orderlies or doctors around to speak with. It looks like you'll have to find Mr. Chesterfield on your own. 3 clues to advance. Quality. Right, encounter card. And we get the drum roll. Whispers in your head, dismay, peril hidden. Secretly, add whispers to your hand. You cannot commit skill cards to tests. Well, luckily at the moment I don't have any skill cards. So, at present it's not the end of the world, but it's going to get messy later. Right, action 1. I need to get investigating, don't I? So I think I'm going to pay 1 for plucky. My investigation is only a 2. I could commit bury them deep, but there's not really much point. Second action, let's investigate, and I'm going to throw both of my resources onto plucky, so that puts me at 4 on a 3. It's not great, is it? 4 on a 3. Try not to knock the camera off its pedestal. 4 on a 3, and we get a -2, so that's a fail. There, I basically just threw all my money away for no benefit. Action 3. Action 3 might move to the mess hall. Yeah, move to the mess hall, see what happens there. After you successfully investigate, choose and discard a card from your hand. Unfortunately, that won't include Whispers in your head because it is a hidden card, which means I cannot choose to discard it. Not that you can choose to discard a weakness. Well, anyway, you know what I'm babbling. Right, no enemies in play, nothing to ready, card. We get Vicious Blow and a resource. 1 whole resource. Okay, Doom. That goes to 2, so the agenda advances. Speaking with the patients, it's proving more difficult than you had assumed. They eye you cautiously and refuse to answer any of your questions, backing away or fleeing if confronted. Either they're not used to guests or something about you is causing them a considerable amount of distress. Some act like animals backed into a corner and you think at any moment they might strike. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and each of the set-aside lunatic enemies into the encounter deck. Well, having a separate lunatic deck didn't last for long, did it? So the lunatics and the encounters all get shuffled in. Ugh. You should have seen how bad I was at shuffling before I sleep cards. Right. Encounter deck. Lead investigator must randomly choose an enemy from among the set aside monster enemies and place it beneath the act deck without looking at it. Remember, right, they all come and get you later. Okay. So the new agenda is tortuous descent. The longer you spend in this hellish place, the more you want to leave. Already it has felt like days. You fear you have stuck here longer. You will become like the patient, a husk of your former self, unruly and dangerous. Limit of 7. And then we take our encounter card, which is the walls closing in. Test head of X, where X is the shroud of your location. That's 2, so it's a 3 on a 2. If you fail, take a horror for each point you fail by, or choose an enemy from the monsters and put it beneath the act deck without looking at it. Right, head of 2. I am 3. I really want to throw my meat cleaver in, but actually, if I do throw the meat cleaver in, I can bring it back from my discard pile when I kill something, can't I? So yeah, so I'm going 3 on a 2, 4 on a 2. I'll leave it at that, 4 on a 2, and I will fail. I won't fail. +1. So I lost my meat cleaver, which I wasn't planning on using anyway, and walls closing in. It's discarded. Right, first action. Let's get back investigating then. So I'm in a shroud of 2 with 2 clues, 1 victory point. So I've got nothing to help me investigate other than plucky. My investigate is 2 on a shroud of 2. Is it worth doing 3 on a 2? I might draw actually, see if I get something that will help. Action 1, draw a card. It's painkillers. I thought I got rid of painkillers. I didn't realise I had 2 painkillers. I would have got rid of them both. Okay. Action 2. Let's investigate. 3. I'll spend the 1 on plucky, and we'll go 3 on a 2. -3. That's a fail. Third action. Let's just try a flat 2 on a 2. What's the worst that's could happen? 2 on a 2. Skull. -1. If you fail, choose an enemy from the monsters and place it beneath the act deck without looking at it. Oh dear. That's 2 monsters saved for later. Right, no enemies in play. Nothing to ready. Card. Improvised weapon. And a recess. Can't help feel this is not a good start. Doom. We go to 1 out of 7 and we draw an encounter, which is the spawn of Haline. So I take him. After I successfully evade him by 2 or less, I take a horror. Well, I don't intend on taking any horrors. Action 1, let's hit him with the enchanted blade. So it's 4. I will use an enchanted blade charge. That leaves 2 left. So that's leaves me 4, 5, 6. 6 on a 4. And I'll throw in a vicious blow to make it 7. On a 4, 7 on a 4, -1. So that's 3 damage. Plus one normal, extra 1 from Enchanted Blade to charge, and an extra 1 from Enchanted Blow. So that's 3 damage. Then I shall do a non-charged. I'm going to play Improvised Weapon. Cost me 1. That reduces his fight to 3. And I will, so I'm fighting a 4 on a 3. Sorry, 5 on a 3, because I'm fighting with the Enchanted Blade but not with the charge. So 5 on a 3. Well, at least I have Improvised Weapon in my discard pile now. Okay, so that's 2 actions taken. Third action, we'll just do a flat 4 on a 4 attack. -2. Oh, he has retaliated, so he's hit me back for both of those misses. Oh, pay attention, boy. So the first attack is 1 damage and 2 horror. So 1 horror can go on Pete, 1 horror has to go on Plucky. So Plucky is gone. Second attack, 1 damage, 2 horror. 1 horror can go on Pete, the other one goes on me. And then he's about to hit me again, isn't he? But after my turn ends, which it ends now, Peter heals a horror. Right, Hunter enemies move. Enemies attack, so that's another damage, so I'm going to 3 damage. And then 2 horror, so again I'll put 1 on Pete and I'll take the second one. Didn't I say I had no intention of taking horror literally 30 seconds ago? Great game. Right, ready cards, nothing to ready. Card and a resource. My card is Not Without a Fight. Commit to a skill test if engaged with an enemy. For each enemy engaged with you, it gains 1 of each icon. And my resource, Doom on the agenda, so that flips to 2 out of 7. So you can't see that because of the shadows. And an encounter, and we draw another spawn of Halei. Well, I think this is going to be game over quite quickly at this rate. Not Without a Fight has now got a little bit more valuable. Although, thinking about it, did I commit any? I committed a Vicious Blow to a test, and because of Whispers in Your Head, I shouldn't have been able to. So Vicious Blow would be in my hand, and 1 of those damages did not happen. So that means I cannot use Not Without a Fight or Vicious Blow, thanks to Whispers. So I am punching without bonuses. Right. Enchanted Blade, let's get the first spawn of Halei. I can't kill both, can I, in one go now? Enchanted Blade, let's get the first one. So I'm attacking with Enchanted Blade, so I'm doing 4, 5, 6 on a 4. I'm doing 2 damage. 6 on a 4. -4. He retaliates. 1 damage, 2 horror. So there I am already at 4 horror out of 6. I had a good feeling about this when I started. I thought, I can do this, I can do this. I'm going to attack him on my second action. I'm going to attack him again. I'm going to use the Enchanted Blade. I'm not going to charge it, but I'm going to pay 1 to play Improvised Weapon from my discard pile. That reduces his fight to 3, and will deal the bonus damage. So I'm attacking for a 5 on a 3. So basically it's the same as using an Enchanted Blade charge, because that would be a 6 on a 4, 5 on a 3. But I don't use one of my charges off. Elder Sign, right, so that's a success. He is killed. Because of an Elder Sign, I can return a card from my discard pile to my hand, so I shall return Plucky. After I defeat an enemy, I can play an asset from my discard pile. In fact, let's do it the other way around. Let's return Meat Cleaver to my hand. And I can't afford to pay it. I can't afford to pay it. I can play an asset from my discard pile paying its cost. I'll do it that way around then. I'll return Plucky to my hand, but I won't trigger his reaction to play an asset. Right, so that was... So my second action, I think it was, wasn't it? And because I played Improvised Weapon from my discard pile, it gets shuffled back into my deck. So I have 1 action left to deal 4 damage to the Spawn of Hali. I think I have to evade him. And I have to evade him, beating him by 2 more. Actually, as well, I'm going to do a fast play. Not that it makes any difference, but it'll keep him from being reshuffled into the discard pile. I'm going to do a fast of Bury Them Deep to put him up there for a victory point, not that it will count for anything. So third action, I think I have to try and evade, but my evade is only 3, his is 2, I've got nothing I can boost it by. Peter boosts me to 4, so it's a 4 on a 2 evade, and then I'll try and get 2 hits on him on my next turn. I think that's all I think I have to do. 4 and a 2. He's evaded. Right. Okay. We're back in business. My turn ends. Peter heals a horror. I'm going to, bear with me for live editing of spreadsheet. I'm just going to add a reminder in about Pete. There we go. Right, no hunter enemies in play, no enemies to attack because he's exhausted, ready cards, so he re-engages. Card. I get last chance and a resource, which last chance is a bit useless to me at the moment because I've got a right handful. Right, Doom, we go to 3. draw my encounter, which is Descent into Madness. If you have at least 3 horror on you, which I do, I lose an action, but now it has Surge. So I'll put it that I've already taken my first action. Walls closing in. Test head of X, where X is the shroud of your location, which is 2. If you fail, you must take a horror for each point you fail by, or randomly choose an enemy from the monster enemies and put it under the act. Ah, I could have done that last time, couldn't I? Taken a horror, I just put it under the act. I didn't read properly, but... Okay, head of 2. My head is 3, 4, thanks to Pete. 4, thanks to Pete. Oh, I can't use last chance because that is also a skill card. So this, I've really got to kill the spawn of Haley and take 2 actions, but I've only got 2 actions this time. Right, 4 on a 2, wasn't it? Testing head. 3, next one from Peter. So 4 on a 2. That's a pass. At last, something goes in my favour. Okay, so I've lost my first action thanks to that encounter card. I now have to do 2 hits on Spawn of Haley to kill him. I can't kill him in 1 round because I only have 2 actions. So action 1, I'm going to attack him with the Enchanted Blade charged. So that's 4, 5, 6. 6 on a 4 with nothing I can boost it with. I don't feel confident. 6 on a 4. Tablet is -2, that's a hit. Okay, so that's 2 damage. For my final action, I think I have to try and evade him again. So it's 4, thanks to Pete, on a 2. Otherwise he's going to hit me, and then I either go up to 5 horror and Pete takes 1, or Pete dies. I can't take that much horror at this stage in the game. 4 on a 2. This could be the end. Oh, I passed 4 on a 2, so he's evaded again. Wasting all of my actions. Heal Pete. That's benefit of not accomplishing anything in that turn is Pete's effectively had 2 rounds of healing before anyone does anything. Right, he readies, re-engages. Card and a resource, and I draw an event, improvised weapon. That will be useful. Now I've run out of charges. Oh, and a resource, yes. Doom, we go to 4 out of 7. The time is really ticking on here. And an encounter card. Lots of suitable nastiness. Okay, at least he's not spawning with me. It's the Asylum Gorger. He's a nasty piece of work. He spawns in the basement halls. He is a hunter. He cannot make attacks of opportunity, and he cannot attack when he hunts. But he's there, so at least I've got a few turns before he catches up with me. Right, action 1. Let's kill the spawn of Haley. I will pay 1 to attack with improvised weapon. So I'm fighting with 4, 5. Improvised weapon knocks him down to 3. 5 on a 3. I can't boost it any more than that. 5 on a 3. Let's gather in a corner. 5 on a 3, and we get -2. That's a successful hit. Spawn of Haley is deaded. Improvised weapon goes into my discard pile. I'm going to stick it at a right angle as usual to remind me I've got a card I can play there. So that was my first action. My second and third actions are to get rid of whispers in my head. Pete has nothing to heal. No enemies in play. Nothing to ready. Oh no, there was an enemy player. He moves to here. Right, card and a resource. I draw another meat cleaver. The stream might seem to go a bit funny there. Okay, and a resource. 1. Doom, we go to 5 out of 7. And an encounter card. I draw the Gift of Madness Misery. Secretly add it to your hand. I cannot trigger action abilities on locations. Okay, so I guess that will start to become more important when we open these locked locations up. As an action, I can randomly choose an enemy from the set-aside monsters and place it beneath the act deck without looking at it to discard it. So at the moment then it's just clogging my hand. I might just leave that until, mind you, if the Asylum Gorger engages me. And it gets a hit here and I'm dead. But mind you, you can't take attacks of opportunity, so that won't stop me triggering this. Okay. Right. Domain counter card. Action 1. We need to get investigating. This is a repeat of the last game where I was stuck in a location just failing to investigate over and over again. Right. I need to investigate the mess hall. I could pay 1 for Plucky to, and then pay another 1 to boost my book by 1. Or I could just commit Plucky to boost my book by 1 and have an extra action. I think I pay the 1 to commit to play Plucky. Action 1. Action 2, pay 1 on Plucky to investigate with a 3. A 3 on a 2. Last chance is no good yet because my hand is too full. 3 on a 2. Let me think about this. I'm better off playing painkillers, healing some of this off me and putting some onto Pete so that he can shrug it off. To at least improve my chances slightly for later in the game. Let's go for it. I've spent my money on Plucky, so that's a 2, 3. On a 2, investigate, which is awful. Skull, -1. Okay, I passed. Wowzer. Wasn't expecting that. So that's that spent. Third action, I need that second clue so I can progress. Oh, after you successfully investigate the mess hall, choose and discard 1 card from your hand. Okay, I think I will choose to discard the meat cleaver because I'm light on money and my enchanted blade is still good for attacks even without it being replenished. So for my third action, Do I just do a flat 2 on 2 investigate? I've got no money. I could commit a last chance to boost me by 1, but it feels like a waste. Or I think I'm going to spend 1 action just to get rid of that and put another randomly spawned set aside monster under the act. Because let's face it, I'm not getting out of here anyway. That's my 3rd action. Nothing to heal on P. Hunter enemies move, so the Gorger is now 1 away from me. Enemies attack. No one is in a location to attack. Nothing to ready. Get a card and a resource. And my card is another Enchanted Blade that I can't afford to play. Doom on the agenda, so that flips to 6 out of 7, and an encounter card. We get the Dance of the Yellow King. If there are no lunatic enemies in play, he gains Surge. There are no lunatic enemies in play. Yellow sign, test head of 4. If you fail, take 2 horror. Search your deck for a madness weakness. Draw that card and shuffle your deck. Oh dear. Right. Test head of 4. My head is 3, 4. I could pay 1 on Plucky to make it 5. Do I want to do that? I can't commit, not without a fight, because I'm not engaged with an enemy. I could throw in painkillers, so I'm at what, 3, 4, 5. That would make it 6 on a 4. Yeah, let's make it 6 on a 4 by committing painkillers. So let me get that right. 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 on a 4. -2, let's pass. Okay, action 1. Right, do I dive in and start hitting the Gorger? He's not got retaliate, and he doesn't make attacks of opportunity, but he's going to take 3 hits. I don't have money. He's going to come and get me on the next turn. He will move. Mind you, no, he doesn't take an attack on the same phase he moves from his hunter keyword, so he won't come in and kill me. He will come in and just engage me, which gives me a round to get ready, I think. So I guess I can try and investigate again. Sorry, that's spent, isn't it? So my investigate is 2, the shroud is 2. I could throw in not without a fight, which would leave 3 cards in my hand, which boosts me by 2 again. So that puts me on 4 on a 2, which doesn't feel enough. But there's not a lot else I can do. So action 1, I'm going to commit last chance to do a 4 on a 2 investigate, and I do a -2, so that's a pass. I gain the second clue. For stability, after you successfully investigate, choose and discard a card from your hand. Enchanted Blade, I guess, because I have no money anyway, and I can trigger it from a discard pile. These are both attack bonuses, which will help when the Asylum Gorger engages me. So action 2, I suppose I could move and have him engage me anyway, but then he would attack me this round unless I evaded him, and I don't think I'm going to be doing that. So I think it feels a waste. Action 2 is going to be draw. Overpower. Okay, for more fightage. Now action 3. I think I take a resource. What a waste of a turn. Nothing to heal. Hunter enemies move. Right, so he moves, but he cannot attack during the same phase he moves, so he doesn't attack me. But he is engaged with me. Nothing to ready. Card. Lantern. And another resource. Gives me a couple of plucky boosts if necessary. Doom, we go to 7 out of 7, so we're advancing. And I can't remember what happened, so this is where it all goes to hell in a handcart, I think. Whatever a handcart is, I don't know why that would go to hell. In the back of your mind, a force beckons. Have you seen it? It calls to you. Glimpsing something in your peripheral vision, you turn and find a familiar symbol peering back at you wherever you look. It is etched upon the doors, drawn upon the walls, painted on the pavements, canvas as you cannot escape it. The lead investigator must randomly choose an enemy from the set-aside monsters, shuffle it into the counter deck without looking at it, and we spawn Constance in the garden. So I take an enemy, we shuffle it into here. I'm not getting out of here, am I? What was the, what else do I have to do there? Oh yeah, Constance in the garden. So she's coming to get me as well. Everybody's coming to get me, but before they all come to get me, something else comes to get me. Ooze and filth comes to get me. Each location gets +1 shroud. As if it wasn't hard enough already. Action 1. Let's just beat the living crap out of the Asylum Gorger. So action 1, fight with Enchanted Blade. I get +1 for this attack. So that puts me on a 5. Pay 1 for improvised weapon, which puts him down to 3, so that's now a 5 on a 3, and because I played it from my discard pile, that will trigger an extra damage. 5 on a 3. Five on a 3. I'm going to risk this as well. 6 on a 3. 6 on a 3. Oh, this has got to pass. But I could throw something else in as well. That's 6 on a 3. My next time will be 5. I need extra cards. 6 on a 3. 6 on a 3, please. Tablet. Oh. No, reading the wrong one. Base shroud value of your location, 2. So even though that boost is 6 on a 3, that's a pass. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3 damage in one hit. And because I played that from my discard pile, that goes into my deck. Okay, so that was action 1. Action 2, we hit him again. 4, 5. Don't you get any ideas? It's a cat. 5, 6, 7. Oh, I haven't got a boost, have I, on this? Ah, 6, 7. I mean, I haven't got a additional damage. 6, 7. 7 on a 4. 7 on a 4. And I'll save the not without a fight for my third action. 7 on a 4. Skull. -1. So now he's at 4. If this test is successful, draw a card. Cornered. Right, action 3. So I'm doing a fight again. 4, 5, thanks to Enchanted Blade. And I put not without a fight, which makes it 6 plus 1 for each enemy engaged with me. So that's 7 on a 4 again. Could do with keeping cornered, but I could throw it in to say, so what am I on? 4, 5, 6, 7 on a 4. Do I go to 8 on a 4 to counter the minus? I think when I have to, otherwise I will be dying. 8 on a 4, because he will be hitting me on this turn. 8 on a 4, -2, pass. Can we pretend I didn't commit that, please? Silent Gorger is dead. Yorick is at his wit's end. Nothing to heal. No hunter enemy. Oh yeah, hunter enemies in play. Constance moves to the yard. Nobody attacks. Ready cards. Card and a resource, and I draw resourceful. Okay, that's good. Resourceful. Just to get my mind working. So I could get my cornered back. I could get my meat cleavers back. Oh, because I killed... Right, oh, let me get the timing right. Because I killed a Silent Gorger, after you defeat an enemy, I can play a card from my discard pile, playing its cost. Does the timing mean that cornered, which I committed to that final fight? Yes, because you commit a card to a test, you resolve the test was successful, I did the damage, and that's the point you discard the card you committed. So then, that test was successful, damage hit, then the enemy dies. So cornered is already in my discard pile, isn't it? So I am, oh, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. Have I got any other assets in here that I can play, that I can afford? No. Everything costs 2. I suppose I could pay painkillers. I play painkillers. Play painkillers for 1. Take a horror, healer damage. I think that's just wasting actions at this stage. So I'm not going to trigger that action. Right, so I took the card. Did I take the resource? I'll take this one. See, I could have played court. Oh well. Right, Doom. Right, well this goes away at the end of the round. On Doom. Out of 8. On the final agenda. And I haven't even triggered the first act yet. Encounter. Descent into Madness. If you have 3 horror on, you lose an action. And it gains Surge. Walls closing in again. Test head of X, where X is the value of my location. So 2. Test head of 2. My head is 3, 4. Don't care anymore. 4 minus 1, that's a pass. Right, 2 actions. Ideally, I need to get there, get the clue, and then move to engage her, or move here perhaps, so that she's not close by. I need that 3rd clue to advance the act, so I can unlock these rooms. But it's just a nightmare. I can't remember off the top of my head whether I can actually win now with, or escape with this, me not having advanced the act. Oh well, I'm just going to leg it now. So I've only got 2 actions, haven't I? So action 1, move here. I'm not going to stay here and investigate because she will come down and get me. So action 2, let's move to the other asylum halls. After you end your turn at this location, take a horror and gain 2 resources. So Pete can have the horror and I'll gain 2 resources. So I'm not complaining at 2 resources, but I am complaining about the horror, and there's 1 clue at this location. Right, heal Pete. Hunt to enemies move, so Constance is now here. No one to attack, nothing to ready. Carving a resource. It's weakness time, isn't it? Oh no, able-bodied. I am controlling 1 item, so that's a good boost. And a resource. Suddenly, I have money. Doom, that flips to 2 out of 8. And an encounter, which is a mad patient. Spawn at the nearest asylum halls. Well, I guess the nearest asylum halls to where I am is where I am. When I attack him, I have to take a horror. At least it's not direct. Sometimes the most terrifying of foes is one's own mind. Right, action 1. Let's fight the mad patient. 4, 5 on a 2. Right, is there anything I want back in my hand out of here? Yes, I want cornered back. So I will commit resourceful to that as well. So I'm doing 4, 5, 6 on a 2. I'm only doing 1 damage though. 6 on a 2. That's a pass. 1 damage on the mad patient. Because that was successful, I shall bring cornered back into my hand. Resourceful is discarded. Action 2, let's fight him again. 4, 5 on a 2. 5 on a 2, 0, that's a pass, so the mad patient is killed. Hello. No, stop playing. What? Oh, yes please. Right, 3rd action. Do I investigate and let Constance come in and attack? 3, 4, that put me on 6. Should I have lost Plucky by instead of... I think I should have lost Plucky, shouldn't I, on the last go? This non-direct horror must be assigned to Plucky before it can be assigned to your investigator card. But it doesn't say it can't be assigned to another asset. Oh well. Right. I'm just going to investigate. It's going to be game over soon anyway, isn't it? Action 2. No, I took 2 actions to kill the patient, so action 3. Just investigate. I'm on 2. I wish I could have gone. Actually, no, let's pay 2 to equip the lantern. That brings that shroud down to 1. And then I'll investigate. Oh no, that was my 3rd action though, wasn't it? She's going to come in and hit me on this round. Shall I just move to the infirmary? Yeah, I think I'm going to move to the infirmary. So yeah, forget that. Move. Run away. Run away. So Shroud 3, 1 clue. As an action, I can heal a damage and take a horror, or heal a horror and take a damage. I'm tempted to do that just to even that up a little bit. Right, heal Pete, nothing to heal. Hunter enemies move, so constant here. Enemies attack, no one to attack, nothing to ready. Card and a resource, another resource, and a resource. I've spent 6 resources because I've not been spending. Doom on the agenda goes to 3, and now it's gone up 8, and we draw Corrosion. Discard item assets from play and or your hand with a total printed card of X, where X is the shroud of your location. 3. Okay. Ooh. I think I'll discard Lantern and Plucky. That's 3. Oh, hang on, item. Plucky isn't an item. Ooh. I'll have to be enchanted later. Plucky stays in play, that's where it was. Okay, action 1. I think I'll move in and hit constant. I've lost my weapon now though, haven't I? She's going to move in on me anyway. Some strange flashing lights going on my stream status, lots of red and yellow. Oh well, I'm recording it anyway. Okay, let's I don't know anymore. Do I leg it up to the yard? Move in, evade, move again, but then I'm no further away than I am now. Move in, evade, that was only 2 shroud locations. I'm going to pay 2 to equip lantern. I'm going to move, so Constance engages me, and they're going to evade 3, 4 on a 1. 4 on a 1. Swap. Okay, so Constance is evaded. So that's my 3 actions. At least I've prevented an attack. Nobody is ready. Ready cards. Re-engages. Card and a resource. Another cornered. Doom flips to 4 out of 8. Encounter. More ooze and filth. So that raises the shroud. Action 1. Evade Constance. 3, 4 on a 1 again. 4 on a 1. -3. That's a pass. Investigate. Shroud goes down to 1. Ooze and filth boosts it back up to 2 again. So I'm investigating with a 2 on a 2. I will throw in a resourceful 3 on a 2, and I'll put 3. I put 2 on plucky, 2, 3. Hang on, 2. I'm doing 2 on a 2, 3 on a 2, 4 on a 2, 5 on a 2. In fact, no, let's do 3 on it. 6 on a 2. -3. That's a pass. Get a clue. That's my 3rd clue. Instantly advance the act. So this is where I must decide what to do with the nurse. I can either intimidate her, I can try and steal the keys, or I can persuade her to give me the keys. So I can fight with a 4, I can evade with a 4, or I can book with a 2. Well, actually, before I do that, that skill test resolves, and I can return a resourceful card, and not a survivor card that isn't resourceful, to my hand. Fortunately, that doesn't include Enchanted Blade. I will bring Meat Cleaver back to my hand in case I need to fight. No, it's not bring back to your hand, is it? It's pay it, and I can't afford to pay it because I spent 3 on the cookie. Have I got a 2? Cost 2 or less asset in my discard pile. I've got painkillers. No. Suppose I could bring painkillers out, it's only going to cost me Y, isn't it? Yeah. And I've taken his special action. So now, and I've got 3 painkiller thingies. Right. Try evade then. 3, 4, 4 on a 4. 5, 6 on a 4. Because able-bodied, if I can draw 2 or fewer items. 2 items, lantern and painkillers. That gains 1 actually. So that's 4, no, 3, 4, 5. 5 on a 4. 5 on a 4. 0, that's a pass. So I have successfully stolen the keys, advanced to Act 2A. Ignore the text on the unrevealed side of Arkham Asylum location. So these are now no longer locked. Right. So I did action 1 was evade Constance, action 2 was investigate, action 3 I think I just try and get to the garden and escape. I think it's the garden you escape from, isn't it? Action 3, move. Nothing to heal on Pete, no enemies to move or attack. Constance readies, sits there. Card and a resource. Moonstone. Boom. Oh, that goes away as well. So we go to 5 out of 8. Encounter. I cannot move more than once each turn. And here's me running. Action 1. Move to the yard. And I'm going to spend 2 actions to... No, it doesn't. I need to get to the garden and I need to escape from the garden. I've got maybe 2, 4, 5, maybe 2, maybe 3 turns. 2 turns to do it in. 2 more turns to do it in. So the next turn I'll be able to move here. So do a week. But then again, what am I going to use these 2 actions on? Action 2, let's take spend a painkiller to what's the point? There's no point. So action 1 was move. I can't move again because of whispers in your head. I either spend 2 actions taking resources. I think I might just take resources to boost Plucky in case I need it. 1, 2. No, 1. My third action, spend 2 of those to play cornered. Because that will at least let me discard cards to boost skill tests, which I wish I'd had much, much earlier. So that's my 3 actions done. Nothing to heal on Pete. Hunt of enemies move. Constance is now here. Enemies attack, no they don't. Ready cards, card and a resource. Miss Doyle, hello Miss Doyle. Doom, that goes to 6 out of 8. Encounter. Straight Jacket. It's an asset that takes up a body slot and 2 hand slots. Return each body and hand slot assets to your hand. Well, that's just the lantern actually, I think. It is, it's just the lantern. And they cannot leave play except by a double action. Okay, it's not the end of the world because I'm hoping to not have to do any more fighting. Action 1, we move into the garden. This is where I get it all wrong. No, there's no resign option, is there? Oh yeah, there's no resign. The garden gains resign later. It was all for naught. Whatever. I'm just going to die, aren't I? Right. clue, did I? And a gold clue here as well. Yeah, but at this point I should be down in the basement trying to find Daniel, but I got confused and ran away. Oh well, let's just play it out and die. Right, action 1. Test evade of 2. Let's distract the guards for what it's worth. So 3, 4, 4 and a 2. Elder sign. In return, any card from my discard pile to my hand. Let's put an enchanted blade in my hand. Remember that I have distracted the guards, and I'll spend 2 actions to get rid of straitjacket. Nothing to heal, onto enemies move, confidence is in the yard, enemies attack, ready cards, card and a resource, guard dog, and a resource. Doom goes to 7 out of 8, encounter, more corrosion. Discard item cards from player or your hand with a total of X, so it's 3 again. It does have to be items, doesn't it? That's going to be... Let's get rid of the moonstone. Technically that means I can play it now, doesn't it? Yeah, why not? Let's spend 3. Let's get the moonstone out. Probably got that wrong. That was my encounter card, wasn't it? Action 1. Let's move here. Engage Constance. So I've got a head and a foot boost from Pete, a head and a foot boost from Moonstone. I've got corner to throw cards at skill tests. I've got Pookie to throw money at skill tests. Got no money. That's first action taken, wasn't it? Moved. Second action. I haven't got any way of boosting damage. Have I got any play from your discard piles in here? I don't, do I? It's the end of the game anyway. Right, let's... Shall we just go out fighting? Nah, let's evade and run away. That's the hero I am. So evade 3, 4, 5. Throw a guard dog in and exhaust corner 6, 7. 7 on a 1. Why am I doing that? 5 on a 1's more than enough. 5 on a 1. -2. She's evaded it. Action 2, move here. Action 3, move here. I can't move more than once in a turn anyway, so I'm stuck here. Next to Whisper in Your Head. Action 3. Take a resource, who cares? The end. Heal Pete. 1 to enemies move. Enemies attack, ready cards. She re-engages. Card and a resource. Yottle and a resource. Doom on the agenda takes us to 8. And I'm insane. There we go. Well, I'm defeated, and I'm sure that means insane or killed or whatever. Well, that was abysmal. I hope that's been as awful to watch as it was to play. Poor old Yorick just could not get going. He was literally stuck, completely failing to investigate. So where did I go wrong then? So with Act 2, if I'd managed to find, I would have to find Daniel first. Then it's a case of planning the escape, and that's when I need to do 4 of the 6 tasks. And it's then on the 4th act that the garden would have got the resign option. Oh well. It's been fun. Let's move on to the proper lead next. Thanks again for watching, and see you soon. Bye.